Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here. Welcome today to a new episode of the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. This is episode number 34, and in today's episode, we will be grinding out some more objectives and then unlocking an icon for our team. If you are new to the channel, do me a massive favor, subscribe, click the notification bell so you never miss an upload and you become part of the notification squad. And obviously the most important thing is to smash a thumbs up on the episode. We want to get 4,000 likes on today's video, and that is all down to you guys. Hit that thumbs up, show your support. Thank you so much in advance for that. So you know what the team's looking like. We've got some Serie A players in there nowadays, and we're gonna have to go full on Serie A for the start of this video. So this is the team that I'm going to be using because this is the objective that I'm now going for. So we did Premier League and La Liga in the last episode for the icon swaps objectives, and now we are going to go ahead and do Serie A, and also in today's episode we're doing Bundesliga, I think. So I didn't have any good fullbacks in the Serie A, so I've had to start with a 3 at the back, and then we are going to adapt it using the substitutes that we have to bring on. But this Heidboer, I'm not sure how you pronounce it. Dutch people in the comments, let me know how I should pronounce that name. Thank you very much. But yeah, basically he is a right mid that has good enough stats that he's going to be my right back. And then I'm actually going to play Cáceres as one of the centre backs. Switch out the other centre-backs for Marcelo and Ramos and have a 4 at the back formation. And then, of course, that leaves me with one more substitute, of which I'm going to be bringing on Neymar, of course. The fortunate thing about having some Serie A players in our team is that actually already in the squad, we've got Alan, Nainggolan, Mertens and Insigne, so they are the 4 players in the squad that aren't actually first owner, and that means that they can play the whole game, and then I just take off some of the first owner players for defenders that I already have in my ultimate team. So this particular game right here, the first one, we actually go 1-0 down, but we turn the game around after like 10-20 minutes, and we're 2-1 up. Neymar with a little chip goal, and then, of course, running off with the swagger celebration. Like I told you guys, I'm going to be using it quite a lot. I like it. I find it to be one of the better celebrations on the game. But Alan actually gets his second goal of the game. For some reason, he was pushing forward, getting into the right positions, and he's actually not got the worst shot in the world. So, like, he will score goals every now and again, especially if it's just easy tap-ins and stuff. But we're 4-1 up and absolutely cruising in this match. As you can see, like, Neymar and Mertens are just popping off. They're just going for it. It was one of the games where I think my opponent wasn't playing drop back, and I actually had space behind to play some through balls and make use of some space that I had. And then I concede that own goal. Like, thank God I had a 4-goal lead, or I had scored 5 goals in this game. Because if that would have made me lose or something, I'd have been so mad that the fact that Marcelo just didn't clear it. But in the end, we get a 6th goal and we end up winning 6-2. So we get maximum rivals points, like 950 points or whatever, and then another or 1 out of the 3 wins that we need for our Serie A objective. We're also rocking up with like 17,000 rank points at the moment. It's going to be closer towards the 20,000 mark by the end of the episode. Next match we go into, someone else who's got a Serie A squad, and there you can tell the difference. You can tell the players which are first owner, and you can tell the ones which are that he's bought to try and help this objective out, right? A little bit like me, the kind of lower rated rubbish ones, they're the ones which your opponent obviously has first owner, and then like the Dybalas, the Mertens, the Insignes or whatever, those are the players that they go ahead and buy to try and make these objectives bearable. But he literally quits when I go 1-0 up. So that was nice. And you know, what rank are we at now? What skill points are we at? So we're actually back up to like 1,440, 1,450, which is literally as high as I've been so far. So I'm somehow, like, I'm going to eventually lose quite a lot of skill rating in this episode. I went through a little bit of a bad run, and that's what you're not seeing. There are certain games here which I decide to rage quit on or whatever that I haven't actually put in the video. So there are multiple games being played, or multiple games that I'm going into, but not necessarily I'm finishing all of them because, you know, I end up losing or whatever, and decide that it's better to just go into another game and hope that we can get an easier opponent. So we get a board out of a 25k pack that we got for getting 50 rivals wins, and we end up getting ourselves Danilo Pereira. I mean, like, as boards go, it's not the greatest. You definitely hope for a little bit more, and when you see that slow moving animation, just hope that you're going to get yourself a walkout. And unfortunately for us, we didn't. But hey, it's another 12 players, one of which is an 83, and of course Parolo. And like, he's a decent Serie A player. He could have gone into our squad should we have needed him, but of course we didn't. Next up, we go into a match against a Premier League side. And again, I can tell that there's like the Aki, the Luke Shaw, probably the Joe Gomez, the Lo Celso. Those are like first owner players, and then the Felipe Andersons and the slightly higher rated, more expensive players. They're probably the ones which he's gone out and bought to make this challenge bearable. But we go 1-0 up after 3 minutes. I don't even know if my substitutes had been on the pitch at that point. We literally just scored with Insigne whilst he was still a striker, and then Mertens comes on, whips it in, and it is Neymar there to smash home to put me 2-0 up after 44 minutes. Seems like things are going quite well, and then we're only going to increase on this lead at the start of the second half. Mertens knocks it into Neymar, out to Alexis Sanchez, who actually gets me a first owner player goal. That's one of the objectives here that I am going to be struggling towards, because me doing what I'm doing right now, which is bringing on 3 substitutes, often like Neymar and stuff, I've got a lot of players up top that are scoring my goals that aren't first owner. So I think by the end of this episode, I'm still only going to be like 10 out of 20 on the first owner stuff. So maybe, just maybe, I need to like go into some rivals with like my Rashford and Pookie and stuff, and maybe try and get some goals with them, just so we can creep up on that one, because obviously I want to unlock as many of these tokens as I possibly can. So we get another one there. That is the 3 out of the 3 for Serie A, which of course means we can now change the squad. So obviously, you know, this is the main team. It has a lot of Serie A, it has a lot of La Liga in it. But we are now moving to a league where we don't really have that many players. We have none of the players that I'm moving to the Bundesliga, basically. I don't have any Bundesliga players in my main starting 11. So that's something. But I was surprised, actually. Apart from buying a couple of midfielders, I think it was essential to get Tolisso and Delaney in the squad, because the other options that I had were pretty awful. I had quite a decent Bundesliga squad. I had Caligiuri, Mukiele, Upamecano, and Roussillon at the back. That's fairly solid. And then, like, I knew I was going to be taking off the strikers, and so I could have my full force attack pretty much with a slightly makeshift midfield with Delaney and Tolisso, but then at the back, like, it wasn't the strongest defense. It's not as strong as my main squad, but hey, it's actually fairly usable. It's like I was using Mukiele, I was using Roussillon up until not that long ago, so I feel fairly normal with them. So, you know, it's not too far from home. So we save a penalty. We gave a penalty away. We literally saved it. He went straight down the middle. I couldn't see any head movement, so I was like, all right, I think he's going to stay down the middle, and it just so happened to work like that. And then I think we get some 45th minute cheese there. We end up scoring with Mertens, so we are 1-0 up. Delaney then knocks a lovely ball through to Mertens, and again, he could just slot that one past the goalkeeper there at the near post and just sort of hit the finesse shot, but not really with any power, and of course do a little bit of the swagger celebration. And we're going to try and make it 3-0 here, and that is a lovely green time shot from Insigne, who is someone which I actually quite like. I have been thinking of selling him, because, you know, last he loves to change his team every 2 minutes. But just because, like, out on the wing and stuff, I haven't had that much use out of him. So I don't know. I have no plans. I keep looking at the concept players and stuff and trying to figure out who I could replace him with. And the only real option is like Dybala. Well, it doesn't quite work, because actually what I want in a left midfielder or right midfielder is a lot of pace, good dribbling, good passing. And none of the players actually have as good stats as Insigne does. So he might just be the perfect player. I'm just not getting as involved because he's in the 4-4-2 at left mid or right mid. So next game here, we go up against Road to ZZZZZ. I don't know why. Maybe Road to Sleep, because this game can be slightly boring if you drop back. Anyway, this was the game where I genuinely was up against someone who I think that was better than me. He was super aggressive. I really, really struggled when I had the ball in my defense to, like, keep the ball. It was just, there was so much pressure. But I caught him on the counter a couple of times and scored some very, very clinical goals with Neymar. So we're 2-0 up in a game which, again, could have been completely level or whatever. But there were just gaps. You can see these gaps are forming, right? We even get a goal with Rashica, who is the makeshift fullback or wide player, the makeshift wide midfielder that I've got there. So we're 3-0 up at half time. But look at that. I've had 57% possession for my opponent, only 43 for me, and it just could have gone a lot differently. So the players that he brought on were Son, Aguero, and Mane. Like, they're good players. They're very difficult players to defend against. So I did my utmost to just let this game ride out, and eventually we come away with a 3-1 win. But that was tough. That was very difficult. And as you can see there in the end, it looked like my opponent probably should have won. And if I'd have lost that game, I'd have been fine with it because he was, I think, better than me. I think I got fairly lucky, to say the least. So we've got 2 out of the 3 Bundesliga matches done. Let's go into this one and hopefully get a third. So it's a nice squad, and I think it's someone that's probably not doing the objectives. But, you know, that's Rivals. You're more than welcome to be playing Rivals and not going for the objectives, of course. But we actually did quite well. You know, we got a goal with Delaney. It turns out he's got a lovely left foot. I seem to remember that from when we had his inform back in the day, or right at the start of the Road to Glory. He had a very, very good left foot on him. So I wasn't surprised, or I wasn't nervous to shoot with him at the edge of the box because I knew it was going to be fairly good. But my opponent equalises. I get the ball to Delaney again. Strike it home again. Genuinely thinking about having to get him, or maybe trying to keep him as like my super sub for after we're done with him, because as a midfielder, he seems to be putting in work. So we're 2-1 up, and this game, you know, again, I've got to ride it out, but then some great agility, some amazing turning from Little Insigne, who is, of course, very short and super agile, means that I get a free shot on goal, and that's going to lead to a finesse shot into the top corner, and we're going to win 3-1, and you know what that's going to do, don't you? That's going to give us our 8th icon swap token, and 8 is a number which I've shown you quite a few times, actually, since icon swaps have come out, that there is a certain icon that costs 8 to unlock, that we are going to be going ahead and unlocking today. So you guys know that I was torn between, I was pretty certain on Roberto Carlos, but I can wait for him a little bit, or a little while longer. But I was torn between the other ones, so I wanted to get 2 icons out of icon swap this month, or this time. And I feel like it was between Pep and Nesta. Now, I said I was going to put a poll in yesterday's video. I ended up doing the poll on Twitter, and people seemed to... It was fairly split, to be fair, but like 55% of people said get Guardiola, and 45% said get Nesta. So I think I was more... Again, I think if you'd have divided up the percentages of how far I was thinking to go in Guardiola and thinking to go in Nesta, it probably would have been about 55-45. So it seems as though me and you, we're kind of on the same wavelength right now. So I know there's going to be some people out there that maybe didn't want me to go for a lower tier one like this and save up throughout the whole time to get someone bigger, but I think what we're doing is the right thing. We're going to get ourselves a CDM, or a midfielder, like a centre midfielder CDM type player, which should be pretty good at being like a bit of a wall, you know, just cutting out that play, intercepting, fairly decent passing and stuff, and to go alongside Alan. It means that we're going to replace Nainggolan with Pep Guardiola. And then, like, a month down the line, when I can unlock some more tokens and get Roberto Carlos, he's still going to be pretty usable at that point, I'm pretty sure, whereas Pep might have gone off a little bit. And at that point in time, we might be able to then have someone else in instead of him. So I think we'll get at least a good month out of Pep Guardiola. And he's just he's an icon midfielder, and that's going to break the team up a little bit. It means that I've probably got a few more options in terms of, you know, getting different people in there. It's chemistry links, isn't it? So our first icon in the Road to Glory FIFA 20 Ultimate Team is 85 rated Pep Guardiola. I'm pretty pleased with that, and I'm actually really pleased with the icon swaps like promo in general. Like, we've just got someone here who sells for 400k on the market or something just by grinding the game and completing a few objectives. Yes, it might have been a little bit stressful, but if someone said to you, would you like this Guardiola, and would you like to give me 400,000 coins for him, or would you like to grind the game out for a few days, or even a week or 2 weeks, or however long it's going to take you, and you can get him for free. I'll be like, yeah, I'll take the free option. I'll put the hours into the game. That is what the Road to Glory is about. It's about grinding the game and getting stuff out of it. So I've gone and bought an anchor chemistry style. That's what we're going to place on Pep Guardiola. He is going to have increased pace, increased defending, increased physical, and he is going to be more of my like actual drop between the defenders CDM, and then Alan is going to be a little bit more just like the main midfield playmaker. He can do whatever he wants really, still stay back while attacking in the 4-4-2, but he's not going to be the one that I tell to drop between defenders. I want Pep to be that man. I want him to just sweep up just ahead of the back four, and then just mop up all of that stuff with interceptions, and I think he can do a good job at that. So he's made his way into our team. It means that I can also sell first owner Pjanic. I don't need him, and like I got through the Serie A part without him, so we've done that. I've also sold Sissoko because we've gotten Ndombele, and we've also still got Wijnaldum at this point in time. I am looking to sell Wijnaldum. Just wondering what's going to happen with his price and stuff. So that's something that I'm just waiting on. We'll see. And then, yeah, like you can see some stuff sold. If we were to sell Wijnaldum, we'd be fairly close, I guess, to nearly 100k again. We've got rewards coming up as well. And there's also I am double thinking. I don't even know what the word is, but I'm sort of thinking that I don't know if Ramos was the greatest idea. Like, he is expensive for what he is. And I actually, after using him again for like 18 games or something, I wonder if Eder Militao just is nearly as good. So we would end up losing a little bit of money by like flipping him again and bringing back Eder Militao again. But again, it would free up another 140,000 coins or something that we could add on to the nearly 100k that we've got from what we've got in the club at the moment, and then we get rewards. You never know what we could end up buying after that. So yeah, I might flip Ramos back for Eder Militao just because I'm not 100% on him, and that seems to be a lot of coins to have on someone, or we might just keep him and see how we can do in the weekend league and stuff. But yeah, this is the new team. This is how the squad's going to line up now. Pep and Alan as my centre midfielders. We've got Ousmane Dembele and then Insigne as my wide players in the 4-4-2 with Neymar and Mertens up front. Our first icon is here, guys, on the FIFA 20 Ultimate Team Road to Glory. Is it the one that you thought I was going to get? Did you think I was maybe going to go Nesta or save them all up and get Roberto Carlos this time, leaving myself for something else next time? Let me know what you thought I was going to do, and actually let me know what you're going to do down below in the comments section. Whilst you're there, hit me with a thumbs up on today's episode. We'd like to hit 4,000 likes because hey, we've just got an icon on the road to glory. That's pretty cool. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, click the notification bell, become part of that squad. It's the best squad to be a part of. Don't even think about anything else. It's just become part of the Noti squad, right? And then of course follow me on Twitter, Instagram. The links are down below. Most importantly, have a wonderful day, everyone, and I'll catch you tomorrow with another episode. Peace.